So I'm going to show you how to use Excel to conduct a simple t-test. And you should recognize these data here. These are the fish length data that you graphed last week. So the first thing we want to do is we have to organize the data. We want all the Barkley Lake fish in one column and all the Kentucky Lake fish in another column. That'll make running the t-test a lot easier. So let's do a sort. So I'm going to click in this cell. I'm going to go Control Shift right arrow and Control Shift down arrow to select all the data. Then I'm going to go to Data, then Sort, and I'm going to sort by lake. When I hit OK, now all the Barkley fish are at the top and all the Kentucky fish are at the bottom. So I'm going to leave the Barkley fish like they are. I'm going to take these Kentucky fish and I'm going to go Control Shift down. Now I'm going to go Control X to copy. I'm going to move up here. I'm going to go Control V to paste. Resize these cells. Now you can see that we've got a few more fish from Kentucky Lake. And if you remember, the end size was different. So now I want to relabel these. So this column is Barkley, and this column is Kentucky. And I just do this just to make my life easier. So I can get rid of these two columns now. I can get rid of this column now. I can resize that column. So all I did was rearrange the data to make my life easier. All right? So now I want to run the t-test. I'm going to compare the mean of the fish lengths from Barkley to the mean of the fish lengths from Kentucky. So I'm going to go to the Data tab again, and I'm going to go to Data Analysis. Now, you might not have this showing on your toolbar. In fact, you probably don't have it showing on your toolbar. If you don't have it showing, you need to come over here to File, go to Options, go to Add-ins, go down to the bottom to Manage Excel Add-ins and hit Go. And you should check the box for Analysis Tool Pack. Once you hit OK, this tab should show up. This button should show up. All right. So now I'm going to click Data Analysis. I'm going to scroll down and look for t-tests. I have many t-tests. I want 2 sample, assuming unequal variances. I'm going to hit OK. So now it's asking for variable 1. Well, variable 1 I'm going to say is Barkley. So I'm going to select the Barkley data. Note that I selected the header 2. This just makes things easier to follow. I'm going to go to variable 2 range. Click in that cell. Variable 2 are the Kentucky data. Hypothesize mean difference, I'm going to leave blank. We're hypothesizing that they're the same, so this is 0. If we leave it blank, it treats it as 0. I'm going to check the box for labels because I selected the column labels. Alpha is 0.05. And I'm going to put the output on this sheet that I'm looking at. So I want to pick the output range. Now it does something crazy here. It goes back up to your variable 1 range. So don't screw this up. When you switch to output range, then click in this window. All you're going to do is tell it where to put the results. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to put the results right here in E1. You can put them wherever you want. So now I've told it what the variables are, I've told it it has labels, I've told it what the alpha is, and I've told it where to stick the results. I can hit OK, and there are the results, which you can't read. So let's expand the column. Double click, double click, double click. So let's look at this table. Here it gives us the mean fish length for Barkley and Kentucky. And those are the same values you got last week. Here it tells us the variance for Barkley and Kentucky. That's the standard deviation squared. Take the square root of these and you'll get the standard deviation. Observations is the n size. And you remember, those are the n sizes you got last week. The t-stat is the value of our test, the value of our stat. We calculate a value called t, and in this instance, it's equal to 20.4. That's not all that important to us, but we do need to report it. The degrees of freedom, which is df, are 52. That's also something we need to report. The number that's most important to us is the p-value. You see we have a p-value for one tail and a p-value for two tail. You want two tail. And so here is the two-tailed p-value. And you can see that that is much, much, much less than 0.05. So we can reject the null. And we can say that based on our data, the length of the fish is different in these two lakes. So that's how you run a t-test in Excel. Let me know if you have any questions.